Well, we don't work that way. He's Sledge, I'm Hammer.
We've got some new 411 about the upcoming, current, and prior Call of Duty games to go over in the Call of Duty news of the week. Firstly, in Call of Duty World War II news, there was a Facebook stream, which apparently was region locked to the US only, and available only to people that actually have an account, to the website that spews more news that's faker than my wife's orgasms. Anyways, most of it was PR bullshit to pump up how awesome Call of Duty is at telling stories, even though nobody gives a shit about the campaign. But towards the end, there were some questions that were given the Michael Flynn pleading the fifth treatment, like health regeneration and playing as Axis in the campaign, which was later clarified in a tweet as a no. What the fuck is the point in doing a stream if you can't give out any answers? The questions that were actually answered were confirmation of the Battle of the Bulge in campaign and Gore, because nothing screams toxic masculinity like gibbing your opponent. And cue the snowflake screeching when females were confirmed in the campaign multiplayer and zombies for the French resistant fighters as being historically accurate, as if Sledgehammer Games can't tell the stories about the parts of the war that they find interesting, even if it's not to you. This also coincides with Condry's explanation during an interview for the GamesBeat Summit.
Half of all gamers on the planet now are female, right? We know that creative companies are more timely, more profitable, more innovative when they have large diversity. And that just comes down to the fact that you have a broader sense of ideas and perspectives on any given topic, right? And that allows you to have more interesting dialogue, and it allows you to have a more broadly appealing set of things that you can represent in your game.
In Paris, you have the French resistance, right? And a lot of them are made up of women. And in Poland, you have the same way.
And of course, then hashtag the Hammer destroys that atmosphere by confirming racism and anti-Semitism in Call of Duty World War II.
And in America, even, you know, it was a segregated army, but the African-American troops were indispensable. Now, we don't hide the racism. We don't shy away from it. We don't shy away from the fact that one of the guys in the platoon is Jewish, right? That's brought up a lot because that's what was being talked about at the time. So we don't shy away from it, and we just try and tell the truth.
Sounds like a game PewDiePie is going to pick up. Condry also gave some other interviews in which he detailed what the multiplayer game mode War wouldn't be like the World at War game mode, but rather exactly like Operations in Battlefield 1. Specifically, he talked about pushing through some hedgerows, which is the second time I've ever heard that word aside from in the song Stairway to Heaven, then having the allies take different sets of objectives in succession, with the Axis powers playing defense to hold those lines. He also talked about prestiging in the new game, which you could show off in front of people in headquarters because everyone needs to be made to feel like they're special in the Destiny Tower rip-off area with a medal ceremony. There's also some churn at the rumor mill regarding a possible Nintendo Switch port for the upcoming Call of Duty title. If you go to the Call of Duty website, you could link your Nintendo account with your Call of Duty account, which is something that hasn't been a feature since Call of Duty Ghost, the last time the franchise was available on a Nintendo console. The thought is that the port will be outsourced to Beanox, who already has some familiarity with Nintendo since they did the Black Ops 3 port for the N64. Oh wait, that was for the 360 and PS3. Sorry, the graphics confused me. Lastly, in World War II news, the Prima Collector's Edition game guide is available for pre-order, but I'm more interested in seeing who the fuck actually gets game guides in 2017. Game FAQs, bitch. Next up is Infinite Warfare, which got a patch yesterday, so I'll throw it over to Ashton Williams to speak on that. Thanks, Schwantz. It's Ashton Williams, Community Manager for Infinity Ward, here to talk to you about the latest patch to our game. Before we get into the actual fixes, let's talk about the shit that makes us money in order to go on those shopping sprees, DLC and micro DLC. The Continuum DLC pack is now available on Xbox One and PC, but good luck finding matches, as even in vanilla we had to combine playlists that were more dead than James Bond. Speaking of actors, there's also a new voiceover pack featuring Ken Jeong, better known as Leslie Chow from The Hangover, which begs the question if quid pro quo, douchebag, is a call-out in our game. And lastly, there's a new Call of Duty World League personalization pack for Call of Duty Champs, available for 500 COD points, which is some amount of money, but I don't know exactly how much it is because extracting actual dollars amounts for items is a psychological tactic that actually works. The last new feature is for all you sweaties out there. We've now integrated game battles into the game on the main multiplayer menu. There is a tutorial tutorial that you could watch after you link your Game Battles account to either your PSN or Xbox account only, because who plays a competitive shooter game on a PC, right? This will hopefully help the amount of jerks that can test matches and fake proof to feel good about their EP-ins. It's too bad that Infinite Warfare's competitive playlist isn't ranked, skill-based, nor contains a CWL rule set so that people could actually play comp if they wanted to without signing up through some random third-party website. On to the actual fixes, as we now let you gesture while sprinting as if you need more stupid shit to do while totes getting shot at from the campers. The blackout grenade now more closely resembles the jammer grenade, as if we need our nades to be more powerful in this game. We also adjusted the sprint out times for the synaptic with LMGs and snipers to match other rigs, as if the skinny bot needed any more reasons to choose that rig over others. There's lots of other mundane minor fixes, so have fun reading them yourself. Ugh, reading, gag me with a spoon. Thanks, Ashton. Now on to the Black Ops 3 news, as apparently Treyarch wasn't done with nickel and diming their audience, as they put out a patch yesterday which added the AK-74U and the M1911 pistol in supply drops for multiplayer only. And of course, Treyarch has the fucking audacity to put these weapons behind a paywall in multiplayer, but in Zombies, where they actually came from the maps which were remastered and Moron shelled out $30 for, they're not available. Someone figure out that fucking logic, please. Oh, and there's also a Dark Matter lookalike camo called Into the Void, now available in supply drops for people that aren't good enough to earn it but will gladly throw money at the screen to make their guns look like as if they can. And lastly, in Call of Duty community news, some people have been asking my opinion on the pseudo controversy that Allier's livecom gameplays are faker than a porn star's tits. My initial reaction is, who gives a shit? But the more I think about it, I just don't understand why you would do this at all. I mean, why make it seem like you're playing the game when it's obvious to anyone with half of a brain that you're editing your facecam commentary? Well, I guess that's probably why he's got millions of subs. Half a brain. Anyways, weren't cutcoms so 2015? I actually like it better that the face cam is cut while the gameplay isn't, because then it's not some herky-jerky ADHD Adderall-fueled seizure fest with all the different jump cuts. But then why go through the effort to make it seem as if you're playing a game when you're clearly not? It's just disingenuous to project yourself as being able to multitask when it's clear that you could barely even play, let alone play and talk at the same time. The face cam is fine because it allows people to concentrate on different things at once, and let's be honest, nobody gives a shit about gameplay in 2017, but please, at least script your shit so you don't sound like some complete bellend rambling on about bullshit ad nauseum. Well, ad is right, because greater than 10-minute ad revenue hype. I don't do face cams on my commentaries because that shit would take way too long to edit, and it's not necessary unless it's a highlight video like Rage or Fail or Funny Moments compilation, which isn't recorded in two separate files. It's all one video. The face cam and the gameplay are happening at the exact same time, so there's no other additional editing. All of that shit is live and can't be faked. Anyways, what say you guys in the comment section? I've been the Schwantz27, making like a tree and getting the fuck out of here. Until next time.